Today I'm refuting the claim that the amount of sugar and high fructose corn syrup being used in food is causing widespread health issues. And the three claims in favor of this was: one, the U.S. consumes a large amount of sugar and is causing widespread health issues. Two, high amounts of sugar and fructose negatively affect mental health. And three, high amounts of sugar and fructose negatively affect your nutrition. Now, I think it's somewhat difficult to find the controversy in the idea that there's a lot of sugar around us. I mean, just look around, there's soda and candy available anywhere. However, some of the claims made were inaccurate, or at least should be critically analyzed. Large amounts of sugar may not be good for us, but the bigger culprit is the processed foods with their preservatives and large amounts of sodium, along with the lack of exercise, that is really causing our health issues. For the first issue, that the U.S. is consuming a large amount of sugar and is causing widespread obesity, while it's true that the level of sugar intake has increased, why is that solely to blame? The advocates did not consider influences in the evidence. Though the amount of sugar has risen, so too has the level of consumption of trans fats, sodiums, preservatives, and overall our consumption of processed food and fast food. And for those who don't know, processed foods are those that have been altered from their natural states, most often in order to make it last longer or taste better, McDonald's. So, according to the website Fast Food Statistics, today's average American eats 4 or more meals away from home every week. And according to a study found in the book Fast Food Nation by Eric Schlosser, between 1984 and 1993, the number of fast food restaurants in the United Kingdom roughly doubled, and so did the obesity rates among adults. The British now eat more fast food than any other nation in Western Europe, and they also have the highest obesity rates. As people eat more food outside their home, they consume more calories, less fiber, and more fat, all of which contribute to obesity. Also, equally known is the fact that we all exercise less. Our society has more desk jobs and more people spending long hours at their computer. It's also a well-known fact that exercise prevents obesity. And so according to a 2009 National Health Interview Survey, 55% of adults never participate in any type of vigorous leisure time physical activity. And now, it's very difficult to pin our growing waistlines purely on sugar when this level of inactivity is so prevalent among our society. For the second issue, the claim is that high sugar and fructose negatively affects mental health. And this idea is highly debatable. First of all, the experts cited in this section seems a little suspicious to me. Both of them had websites that, yes, and had articles about health and sugar. But both of them were also selling products on their websites. One of the doctors, Dr. McCullough, was selling supplements to those who visited his website, and the other one was selling a book about his no-sugar diet that we should all start. So their intentions maybe were completely pure, but still I don't want to trust a source that's trying to sell me something. For the reasoning of this argument, there's a claim that eating high amounts of sugar causes something called BDNF, which stands for brain-deprived neurotropic factor. According to the advocate's definition, neurotropic factors are responsible for making new neuron paths in your mind, which are used to create new memories or recall how to do tasks that you were taught. And one of the sources that he cited, Dr. Olson, had a quote about this, but let me read you the whole quote. It says that research has shown that high sugar diets, along with fat diets and lack of essential fatty acids, decrease BDNF. And so, it seems like an oversimplification of this issue to blame it all on sugar. In regards to the other claim that sugar causes depression and anxiety, there are other causes of this. According to the report Feeding Minds, which was written by the nonprofit Mental Health, is the overall poor diet of people that leads to depression. There are links between less severe forms of mental disorders, such as anxiety, and the nation's increasing reliance on ready meals and processed foods, which are heavy in pesticides, additives, and harmful trans fats. Eating a diet without fresh fruit and vegetables, fish, or other nuts deprives the brain of essential vitamins and nutrients needs regulated. And also, additionally, according to the Mayo Clinic, research on anxiety, depression, and exercise show that the psychological and physical benefits of exercise can reduce anxiety and improve mood. So going back to that statistic that 55% of adults don't get regular exercise, it seems more likely that that depression and anxiety is stemming from our lack of exercise and our diets. Finally, the claim that sugar negatively affects your body, especially that it claims that it causes acne, is unfounded. According to acne.com, it says that it's hypothesized yet unproven that a diet which causes insulin spikes may affect the development of acne. So this is just a suspicion of scientists. It's not well proven yet. And and in regards to fructose being bad for our nutrition, I would like to point out these foods where fructose is added typically have many other ingredients which may be equally at fault. So according to the Nutrition Center, these include products such as condiments, crackers, frozen foods, salad dressings, soups, and processed meats. And all of these products may contain high fructose corn syrup, but also typically contain high levels of sodium and preservatives. It seems like a stretch to completely blame sugar on the health problems coming from consuming these foods on a regular basis. So to review, the growing use of sugar in our foods is not healthy for us, but the three claims that sugar is to blame for obesity, mental health problems, and poor nutrition is inaccurate because it ignores our society's over-reliance on processed foods and lack of physical activity.
All right, you did a very nice job acknowledging those elements of the argument that are not controversial and then trying to find the issue on which there is some dispute and pointing out where there is a challenge to the advocate's points. I thought that you did a nice job finding a counterclaim on causality, explaining how this process is actually much more complicated than the advocate has presented, and suggested that some of the other factors are equally, if not have greater weight in the cause of these particular problems. Your example, for instance, of the fast food and the obesity issue, I thought was pretty straightforward. All the presentation, by the way, is really solid. You pace yourself well while you're speaking. You generally try to look at the audience. You do have to look at the information when you're reading it, but that's to be expected. Nobody expects you to memorize the quotes and all the statistics. And like I said, usually you seem to be trying to build your credibility by speaking directly to the audience. I thought that you were reasonable in the challenge you made to the advocates, experts on the ones section where they're potentially selling some product and there is bias as a consequence. And then you had a nice explanation about how their own evidence suggests that it is not just the sugar content, but it's a combination of things that are poor in the way we eat that contribute to those problems. I thought you did a good job on that. All right, your challenge on the third point is basically that the information presented there is insufficient, and I thought you explained that pretty well. This is one place where I didn't think you had, a lot of additional information or evidence to provide to make an argument there, but it basically comes down to some of the same assessments that you had on the earlier points, and it was all very clear. All right, thank you.